Did you didn't know if anyone saw today's episode, but Ash has finally become a Pokemon master after 25 years. Congrats, Ash. Wow, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe that Pokemon has finally ended this very long drought of 25 years. As I know before, the new Scarlet and Violet video game is coming out next Friday. What does it mean if I learned my lesson of discovering the true reason of what I saw? I noticed in this final episode of Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, this final episode dealt with both Ash and Dandy having their Dynamax bands recharged by Mujadina, which leads to a battle between the Kyodimax Acebird and the Kyodimax Pikachu. But it would end in Pikachu's favor of going up against Dandy's Lizardon. But when Pikachu suffers from a near-death experience by passing out, Pikachu, who was thought to be killed off for real, was motivated for imagining all of Ash's previous Pokemon cheering for him, allowing him to get back up and deliver one last Thunderbolt on Lizardon. When Pikachu manages to defeat Lizardon, this results in Ash's victory over Dandy, and Ash becomes the new world champion. All I can say is, this is probably a better idea to do this. I noticed that Pokemon has broken this fourth wall of what the creators learned their lessons from. The creators of this anime spent 25 years writing episodes, and it sort of reminds me of how the Simpsons once broke the fourth wall of what happened 15 years ago in 2007. I noticed that Pokemon and The Simpsons were the only cartoons that broke the fourth wall on a high note of what I saw. I remember watching this episode 15 years ago, the one where Homer has a near-death experience of suffering a midlife crisis of how he almost died by getting himself scratched off by his dog, and then he starts to become extremely alcoholic and realizes he needs to pretty much kill himself by falling into the bridge, and then Bart and Lisa saved him to prove that he's sent back in time to undo his mistake and realizes he can't drink beer in what he proposes to be with Marge forever when they set sail towards the boat of the night sky. It is sort of interesting that they haven't been doing this, that they wouldn't break the fourth wall until 15 years later in Simpson World of what we saw. So, fast forward to 15 years later, that from this year, they had broken the fourth wall again 15 years later in a bookends monologue. Well, I noticed that when I saw Happy Halloween, the one where Peter deals with his problem of what his family thought, he learns that the family he thought he was will always be here for him. And I realized when I was watching this episode from Family Guy, like the one from, the Bookadook, the plot was very similar to the Bookadook, the one where Marge gets possessed by a shadowy scarecrow figure who keeps stealing storybooks from children. This one involves around Peter getting cursed with awesome from the moment his mind is manipulated by a holographic machine that turns everyone into holograms, and then the holograms start to run amok, and then Peter tries to find a way to pretty much destroy the machine, and then he learns that his family needs to be rescued from his holographic self, and then he destroys it by dragging him off of it, and then he realizes he's broken the fourth wall of Halloween. Wow. I couldn't believe he broke the fourth wall for discovering what is going on with it. So what the heck is the fourth wall anyways? As I know in Simpson World and Death Tome, the one where Lisa gets turned into a mutant Shinigami monster out of herself after killing so many people, and the one in Simpson World, the one where they broke the fourth wall in 15 years, the one where Homer discovers he wasn't the man he thought he was from 15 years earlier. And then I realized, how did they broke the fourth wall? Well, there's a directive lesson I've learned from this episode of Pokemon. They finally broke the fourth wall and discovered what did they done to themselves. But if you would like to hit the subscribe button, that in a few hours time, I might do my reviews of both Muppet Monster Adventure and the Iron Giant for later. So that's all I can say about this one. You should subscribe it before you hit the like button. So, bye-bye.